A scandal just erupts, what he did is awful. The most current Obama scandal isn't only an insult to our military, yet a misuse of profitable tax dollars and assets. As per Fox News, the Department of Defense has pledged to watch the security forces in Afghanistan after a current report revealed some startling data. The Office of the Special Inspector General for Afghanistan Reconstruction, or SIGAR, revealed significant gaps between the assigned force strength of the Afghan National Defense and Security Forces, and the actual number of personnel serving. At the end of the day, it creates the impression that Obama paid out around $300 million to ghost soldiers. The letter from the SIGAR to the Pentagon refers to discrepancies between the number of soldiers assigned to a given range contrasted with the quantity of soldiers really serving the region. There is no sensible clarification for the divergence. There are, be that as it may, bits of episodic confirmation that more than acceptably attach the Obama administration to shady dealings. News of this factual irregularity is bringing up issues with reference to regardless of whether whatever is left of the U.S. government knew about these ghost soldiers at the season of subsidizing. The citizens' dollars could have been put to better use here at home. Since 2002, Congress has given generally $68 billion to ENSF, including pay rates. This is driving some to guess that the administration was deluded. The police boss in the Helmand province noticed that half of the 26,000 officers and police that were apparently paid never existed. Special Inspector General for Afghanistan Reconstruction John Sopko confirmed, in January 2015 we reported that more than $300 million in annual, U.S.-funded salary payments to the Afghan National Police were based on only partially verified or reconciled data and that there was no assurance that personnel and payroll data were accurate. Obama was included with the financing of the soldiers and police force at the time. One can just figure with respect to what the Obama administration would have liked to accomplish by paying these non-existent servicemen. We found similar deficiencies during the course of our April 2015 audit of Afghan National Army personnel and payroll data, Sopko said. Possibly, the Obama administration will accuse administrative mistakes, on the off chance that they remark by any stretch of the imagination. However, it's conspicuous to whatever is left of us that some kind of result conspire was likely set up. It wouldn't amaze any of us to learn, in a great time, that some individual, however, no of our soldiers, profited from those assets. The Department of Defense is entrusted with discovering precisely what a number of Afghan soldiers and police operate in the nation. They've inferred that 90% of police, and approximately 70–80% of the military, have all been biometrically selected. The examination will proceed. The Pentagon confirmed, expressing that, when the initial inventorying is completed in July 2017, DoD and the Afghan Defense Ministry will have a more accurate representation of actual force strength. Obama was funneling tax dollars out of the nation that should pay for soldiers. Since we know those soldiers never existed, we should discover where that cash went, and why it went there in any case. What do you think about this? Do not hesitate and write your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you for reading. HTCNA. Jaw-dropping. Obama just slammed women voters, you'll be furious. Michelle Obama attacked ladies who voted in favor of Donald Trump. Former First Lady Michelle Obama leveled harsh criticism Wednesday at women who voted for President Trump, suggesting they voted against their own interests. According to Fox News, any woman who voted against Hillary Clinton voted against their own voice, Obama told the audience during a talk at a marketing conference in Boston, according to Boston.com. She went ahead to suggest female voters for Trump were quite recently running with the pack. It doesn't say much about Hillary, and everybody's trying to worry about what it means for Hillary and no, what does this mean for us as women? She asked, as reported by the Washington Times. That we look at those two candidates, As women, and many of us said, he's better for me. His voice is more true to me. To me that just says, you don't like your voice. You just like the thing you're told to like. What do you think about this? Do not hesitate and write your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you for reading. HT Fox News. Resignation. Look who Democrats call to resign, not Schumer but. Democrats are requiring the resignation of Health and Human Services Secretary Tom Price following reports that he had been utilizing private planes at citizens' expense. Democratic officials started calling for Health and Human Services Secretary Tom Price to leave on Wednesday following a progression of reports about his utilization of private planes to citizens' expense. 5 House Democrats consolidated to request Price's resignation, hours after President Trump said he's not happy with his health secretary's pattern of costing citizens a huge number of dollars to ride on private planes. At a minimum, the American people expect cabinet secretaries to lead with integrity, accept accountability, and use public resources responsibly. In light of your breach of the public trust, we write to urge you to do the right thing and immediately tender your resignation. Democratic Reps. Ruben Gallego, Arizona; Ted Lieu, California; Brenda Lawrence, Michigan; Jamie Raskin, MD, and Pramila Jayapal, Washington, wrote in a letter to Price. According to The Hill. What do you think about this? Do not hesitate and write your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you for reading. HT The Hill. President Trump just leaked shocking video that proves John McCain betrayed America. He is ruined. There is no genuine delight among real conservatives that John McCain is still in the Senate. Notwithstanding what he may have comprehended about loyalty years back when he battled in Vietnam, he surely has shown an extremely twisted form of that temperance as a congressperson. With regard to his military service and with regret for his serious illness, the reality remains that John McCain is a confirmed rhino, a committed neocon. He has a desire for civil war and an inclination for abandoning conservatives. It is a proceeding with wellspring of disappointment that the Republicans of Arizona have demanded running him as the party possibility for Senate in many elections. A case of McCain trickery can be found in his refusal to back legislation to repeal and replace Obamacare, something he had more than once and obviously expressed to be one of his goals. Be that as it may, when allowed to follow up on his claimed standards, he torpedoed the legislation, consequently keeping a truly flawed bill the chance to be improved in a conference with the House. Or, on the other hand, perhaps this was only a horrendous articulation of his abhor for President Trump. In any occasion, his past speeches demonstrate his false reverence. Via Conservative Tribune. If McCain thought that his vote would be forgotten, or perhaps remembered as a profile in courage, well, it certainly doesn't look that way from here. And, as President Donald Trump reminded everyone, McCain's vote was a stab in the back to voters who relied on McCain's repeated promises to repeal Obamacare. In a video posted by the president to Twitter on Monday, McCain is seen saying he would repeal and replace President Barack Obama's signature legislation over and over again. McCain not to acknowledge we are currently in the computerized age where the web makes it conceivable to safeguard everything a political applicant at any point said or did. Old acts and talks will dependably cause issues down the road for them, and that is exactly what is currently occurring to Senator McCain. It is far-fetched that history will recollect Mr. McCain affectionately. He has enraged conservatives while not being very sufficiently liberal to satisfy the opposite side of the walkway. While delighting in his self-created maverick picture, he has remained something of a man without a genuine base, somebody who can't be depended on in the thick of the political fight. Furthermore, if that is the manner by which he will be recalled, that, it is lamentable, however, it fits. What do you think about this? Do not hesitate and write your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you for reading. HT Conservative Tribune. One state just smashed thousands of welfare leeches. Barack Obama is furious. Exactly when Obama thought it was safe to start development of his new presidential activist center, one state tosses another monkey wrench into the entire Obama legacy works. While Barack Hussein Obama was president, he had the questionable respect of making a caretaker state like no other with a record 44 individuals on welfare. He was exceptionally pleased with this, as well, as Nancy Pelosi would later crow. Now all those unemployed and people on assistance will be able to spend more quality time with the family. Tennessee authorities, be that as it may, have put the kibosh on a celebration for the leftists to howl about how incredible they were for making such a needy era. They are now reinstating a rule that says people WHO accept assistance are required to work for their benefits. The humanity. Via Conservative Tribune. A full 7 years after the crisis began and long after an easement of the worst privations had occurred, 42 states still had full or partial work requirement waivers for the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. Unfortunately for gravy train riders in the great state of Tennessee, the volunteer state will soon no longer be on that list. According to the Tennessean, Governor Bill Haslam, a conservative Republican, announced this week that his state will reinstate the work requirements nearly a decade after they were waived. As of February 1, 2018, most Tennessee counties will require able-bodied adults who do not have dependents to work 20 hours a week at a job, getting education or training, or volunteering. Recipients will have 90 days to comply with the new regulations once they take effect. When we hit record low unemployment 3 months in a row, then it comes a time to look around and say, are we doing everything the right way? We looked at this and thought, it's hard to justify a waiver. Approximately 58,000 food stamp recipients in Tennessee will be affected by the new requirements, and, if history is any indicator, that means the food stamp rolls are going to plummet. The help rolls are as of now, right now, on a downward death spiral, on account of the endeavors of a president who has faith in singular soul and the motivation and integrity of self-preservation. We've been puttering around for a long time under the feeling that a U.S. president was never going to act to our greatest advantage. Be that as it may, since the race of Donald Trump, welfare rolls are down, joblessness is down, and the share trading system and the GDP are up. We have a great deal to celebrate. What do you think about this? Do not hesitate and write your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you for reading. HT The Tennessean, Conservative Tribune. Kill shot. General Mattis just dropped sledgehammer on Anthem protesters, true patriots are applauding. While the fake news industrial complex seems, by all accounts, to be totally focused on these anti-American NFL protests, the Trump administration and the American individuals are calling this what it truly is. An anti-American leftist tirade where they're holding their breath until the point that we as a whole recognize that this nation is racist, out of line, ill-conceived and domineering. Yet, odds are that no measure of appeasement, like Muslim terrorists, will prevent these protesters from requesting all the more. The way that a considerable lot of these players are millionaires requesting that we trust that they're struggling is much more unbelievable. When they get what they need, they'll simply change the requests and have a fit about some other envisioned or composed transgression. General James Mad Dog Mattis has had pretty sufficiently much of this hogwash in the NFL, where their occupation to play war on the field reflects just in free terms the genuine war on the combat zone abroad. At the point when gotten some information about the debate as he loaded onto a plane, he replied with a concise and last explanation. And it's quite recently lovely. Via IJR. Owners and coaches joined the players by linking arms, sitting or kneeling, and some teams even stayed in the locker room during the singing of the Star-Spangled Banner. Many have weighed in on the topic, But there is one man that stands out. Right before boarding a plane to India on Sunday, Secretary of Defense James Mattis, who has served in the Marines for over 40 years and has gone on 3 tours of combat, greeted members of the media and held a question-and-answer session. One reporter asked, "Anything to say about the NFL, being someone who has served in the military?" Mattis looked the reporter dead in the eye and responded, "I'm the Secretary of Defense. We defend the country." There is no further requirement for clarification on his part. The columnist was planning to get an individual from Trump's cabinet who couldn't help contradicting the president. Rather, he was replied with an extremely unmistakable military point of view. "This is the best nation on the face of the earth, and no measure of measly players of a child's amusement giving a tremendous middle finger to America will ever change that reality. Nor does it change the way that the military safeguards this nation so these spoiled brats can junk the nation for the sole motivation behind getting a little exposure from an America-loathing press." What do you think about this? Do not hesitate and write your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you for reading. HTIJR. Barack Obama just dropped nasty NFL announcement. At the point when Kaepernick first picked not to stand for the national anthem at an NFL game a year ago, governmental issues saturated the amusement and haven't left since. However, as the Washington Times revealed, it would appear Barack Obama points the finger at President Trump for politicizing football. Amid a paid speech on health care, he told audience members, "Our big problem right now is politics. Can't even get it out of football." While his remark about legislative issues in football didn't target Trump specifically, it is very suspicious considering that the remark happened after Trump's controversial statements over the course of the end of the week and not amid the Kaepernick protests or different players protesting consistently. It's likewise unimaginably hypocritical that he would condemn anybody for looking to politicize football, considering he did only that all through his administration, as per The Guardian. Since 2013, Obama and his organization have attempted to impact the Washington Redskins into changing their name out of worries for political accuracy and culpable aficionados of the NFL. In 2013 he agreed with rivals of the Washington Redskins who considered the name of the group offensive to Native Americans. Addressing to columnists he stated, "If I were the owner of the team and I knew that the name of my team, even if they've had a storied history, that was offending a sizable group of people, I'd think about changing it." NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell said while fans ought to be considered, it's the Redskins proprietors' decision. If one person's offended, we have to listen. And ultimately, it is Dan Snyder's decision. But it is something that I want all of us to go out and make sure we're listening to our fans, listening to people who have a different view, and making sure that we continue to do what's right. The Washington Times revealed that the Obama administration likewise took an interest intensely in the claims endeavoring to constrain the Redskins' name change by denying trademark rights. The claim would keep the Redskins from recharging their trademarks and licenses under the Redskins name. Obama's acting right-hand Attorney General, Joyce R. Branda, said the DOJ agreed with the prosecutors to protect the cultural heritage of Native Americans. "I believe strongly in the rights of all Americans to celebrate and maintain their unique cultural heritage." The Hill additionally revealed that in 2015, the Obama administration was truly considering blocking the construction of another stadium for the team in view of the contention encompassing the name. Washington, D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser was informed by the Interior Secretary, Sally Jewell, that the Obama administration would not work with or suit the construction until the point that the name was changed. Considering Obama and his administration occupied with the political contention encompassing the Redskins for quite a while, it's misleading for him to remark on the governmental issues encompassing the announcement made by Trump throughout the end of the week. Moreover, it's fascinating that Obama and different Democrats would push the Redskins to change their name since it annoyed fans, yet don't appear to mind that the present protests against the national anthem are affronting fans. While many could concur with Obama's announcement that it's awful that legislative issues have discovered its direction onto the field, he ought to likewise consider himself in charge of the quantity of years he and his organization pursued political war with the Washington Redskins. What do you think about this? Do not hesitate and write your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you for reading. HTCNA. No one saw this coming. Governor of Puerto Rico just issued shocking message about President Trump. The abnormally dynamic 2017 Atlantic hurricane season keeps on seething into fall as Puerto Rico recoups from Hurricane Maria's devastation. Puerto Rico Governor Ricardo Rossello commended President Trump for his quick reaction to Hurricane Maria, including that the American island is as yet attempting to recuperate from the biggest catastrophe in modern history for Puerto Rico, as per Politico. Governor Rossello and different authorities praised President Trump and the federal government for having a comprehensive relief plan before the tempest hit. The American island of Puerto Rico has for some time been dismissed by the federal government. The territory, which is home to 3.4 million Americans, does not send representatives or senators to Congress and has no electoral college votes. Resident Commission Jennifer Gonzalez, Puerto Rico's non-voting congressional representative, clarified that President Trump's reaction is a welcome change from past administrations. This is the first time we get this type of federal coordination, she included. Hurricane Maria hit Puerto Rico on Wednesday as a Category 4 storm. The devastation was quick. Authorities have confirmed 10 deaths, yet the number is required to ascend as chairmen report from remote towns and groups. Many major extents of the island stay out of reach to specialists on call. Mayors keep on arriving in the capital of San Juan to meet with Gov. Rossello, and they bring a not insignificant rundown of urgently required supplies. Mayor Jose Sanchez Gonzalez, from the seaside town of Manatí, told the representative that his group is totally out of fuel and crisp water. Hysteria is starting to spread. The hospital is about to collapse. It's at capacity, he stated, with tears streaming down his face. We need someone to help us immediately. Authorities from the community of Vega Alta told the governor that the whole neighborhood of Fatima couldn't be reached. The experts were edgy to enter the area and empty occupants from a nearby nursing home. I need to get there today, Mayor Oscar Santiago said to reporters. Not tomorrow, today. Hurricane Maria desolated Puerto Rico's as of now outdated infrastructure. 1,360 out of the island's 1,600 telephone towers have been brought down by the tempest, and 85% of the over-the-ground web, plot, and telephone lines have been thumped out. Real swaths of the island are totally oblivious, as the island can't stand to repair theirs as of now crumbling infrastructure. Puerto Rico's primary port opened Saturday, permitting 11 ships supplied loaded with government help to dock. The boats delivered 23,000 cots, 1.6 million gallons of water, food, and generators. Numerous more ships are planned to land throughout the following couple of days. Government Emergency Management Agency, FEMA, authorities touched base with the boats and brought satellite telephones to the greater part of the island's towns and urban areas. Numerous districts are still without power, fresh water, or lines to the outside world. The federal government arranged for $1 billion in neighborhood assets to give help to Hurricane Maria, yet Gov. Rossello says the island still needs more. We're going to request waivers and other mechanisms so Puerto Rico can respond to this crisis, the governor said. Puerto Rico will practically collect no taxes in the next month. Puerto Rico is a sad remnant of its previous self because of the tempests and the compassionate emergency in the fallout. Ideally, with the guide and help endeavors proclaimed by the federal government, the country can recuperate and continue on as Americans do. What do you think about this? Do not hesitate and write your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you for reading. HDCNA